There was a time when Alex Eala and Renata Zarazúa stood shoulder to shoulder, chasing the same victory. They weren't rivals. They weren't studying each other from opposite ends of the court. They were partners, sharing the pressure, celebrating the same winners, and trusting one another with every point they played. Just over a year ago at Roland Garros, they communicated with the silent language only doubles teammates truly understand. A glance before a return, a subtle nod before a serve, an instinctive movement without saying a word. Together they opened their campaign with an impressive first-round victory before their journey ended in the second round. They embraced, wished each other well, and walked away believing their next meeting would probably come as friends across the practice courts. Neither of them could have imagined what Wimbledon had quietly prepared. Because now, fate has rewritten the script. Instead of sharing one side of the net, only one of them can survive. And what makes this first-round showdown so captivating isn't simply the rankings or the surface. It's the uncomfortable reality that both women know secrets about the other that almost no opponent ever gets to learn. Those hidden details could make every point far more dangerous than the draw initially suggests. On paper, this looks almost straightforward. Alex Eala enters Wimbledon carrying the number 29 seed beside her name, a milestone that echoes far beyond the tournament itself. For the first time in history, a Filipino player arrives at a Grand Slam as a seeded singles competitor. Even more remarkable, no Southeast Asian woman has earned that distinction in nearly 2 decades. It's not just another ranking achievement. It's history. It's proof that years of sacrifice, countless hours at the Rafa Nadal Academy, heartbreaking losses, and relentless belief have finally produced a moment an entire nation can celebrate. But history can be both a reward and a burden. Every expectation now follows her onto center court, every camera tracks her every movement, and every match suddenly feels bigger than tennis itself. That pressure doesn't disappear because your name is printed beside a seed. In many ways, it only begins there. And yet, perhaps the most incredible part of Eala's story isn't the ranking itself. It's how quickly everything changed. Just weeks ago, she transformed into one of the hottest grass court players on the planet. Birmingham became the turning point. Match after match, she stormed through the draw without surrendering a single set, displaying confidence that seemed to grow stronger with every passing round. Even when the championship match became a brutal physical and mental battle lasting nearly 3 hours, she refused to surrender. Down when many players would have cracked under the pressure, she found another level, clawed her way back, and lifted the trophy. That victory wasn't simply another title. It felt like a declaration that grass had suddenly become her playground. But what happened next surprised almost everyone. At Queen's Club, her momentum came crashing into an unforgiving wall. A heavy defeat against Iva Jovic raised uncomfortable questions. Had Birmingham been an emotional high that couldn't be repeated? Had opponents finally solved her game? Critics were quick to wonder whether reality had arrived just as fast as the excitement. For many players, that loss would have planted doubt before Wimbledon. But Eala refused to let one disappointing afternoon define her season. Instead, what followed became one of the most astonishing stretches of tennis in her young career. Berlin changed everything. Few expected an unseeded player to make serious noise inside one of the strongest grass court fields of the season. But Eala wasn't interested in expectations anymore. One by one, she began knocking down names that normally headline tournaments. First came Donna Vekic, fresh off her own impressive grass campaign. Then came one of the biggest victories of Eala's career as she stunned Elena Rybakina, proving her Birmingham triumph wasn't a lucky week, it was the beginning of something much bigger. Before anyone had time to process that upset, she delivered another statement by defeating Alina Svitolina. 3 elite opponents. 3 unforgettable victories. Suddenly, tennis fans around the world weren't asking who Alex Eala was anymore. They were asking how far she could go. Although Linda Noskova eventually ended her magical run in the semifinals, the damage had already been done, in the best possible way. Eala had announced herself as one of the most dangerous players entering Wimbledon. Even an early exit in Bad Homburg couldn't erase what those weeks had revealed. Her grass court record told a story far more impressive than simple wins and losses. She had captured a title, defeated multiple world-class opponents, and climbed high enough to earn that historic Wimbledon seeding. Momentum wasn't just on her side. Confidence was too. But while Eala has been climbing toward one of the biggest moments of her career, Renata Zarazúa has been fighting a very different battle. Her season has been defined by inconsistency, moments of promise interrupted by frustrating setbacks. Her win-loss record reflects that struggle, perfectly balanced enough to avoid disaster, but never stable enough to build real momentum. Once ranked inside the world's top 55, she now arrives at Wimbledon searching desperately for a breakthrough that has refused to come. Yet dismissing Zarazúa would be a dangerous mistake, because anyone who knows her story understands she has spent her entire career proving people wrong. She became one of Mexico's greatest modern tennis pioneers by breaking into the WTA top 100 after decades without a Mexican woman reaching that milestone. She shocked Madison Keys on one of tennis' biggest stages, showing she possesses the courage to defeat elite players when everything clicks. Those memories matter. Athletes never completely forget what they're capable of achieving. Even when results fade, belief often survives longer than rankings suggest. And that's exactly what makes this matchup more dangerous than many fans realize. Still, grass has offered her very little comfort this season. She successfully battled through qualifying events, proving her determination remained intact, but once she entered main draws against stronger opposition, the victories disappeared. 3 consecutive first-round exits on grass painted an uncomfortable picture. Every time the competition reached the highest level, she found herself overwhelmed before she could truly settle into matches. On a surface that rewards explosive serving, aggressive first strikes, and razor-thin margins, Zarazúa has struggled to impose the style of tennis that usually brings her success. And that's where this story becomes truly fascinating. Because these two women aren't walking onto the court as complete strangers trying to decode each other's strengths in real time. They already know far more than most first-round opponents ever could. Long before the first serve is struck, both players will already be carrying a mental notebook filled with memories. During their time as doubles partners, they spent hours practicing side by side, discussing tactics, reading each other's habits, and learning the tiny details that television cameras never capture. Zarazúa has watched Eala prepare her serve from just a few feet away. She knows the rhythm of Alex's ball toss, the subtle body language that can hint at a wide serve or one driven down the tee. She has seen where Eala likes to move after her return and how quickly she attacks the net when she senses hesitation. Those aren't secrets opponents usually possess in the opening round of a Grand Slam. They are fragments of knowledge built through trust. Now, that trust has become information, and information can become a weapon. But there is another memory that neither woman can erase. Back in 2024, they met in singles on a hard court in Cary, North Carolina. Eala looked in complete control after taking the opening set. Everything suggested she was on her way to victory. Then, slowly the momentum shifted. Zarazúa adjusted. She began reading the rallies more clearly, finding better angles, extending points, and forcing Eala into uncomfortable decisions. Set by set, she solved the puzzle until she completed the comeback. That victory still lives somewhere in the back of her mind. Rankings may change. Surfaces may change. Confidence may rise and fall. But the memory of beating someone never truly disappears. Zarazúa walks into Wimbledon knowing she has already found a way to defeat Alex once before. That belief could become incredibly valuable if this match becomes tight. Even so, this isn't the same Alex Eala she faced nearly 2 years ago. The version arriving at Wimbledon looks stronger, more mature, and perhaps most importantly, perfectly suited to grass. As a left-hander, Eala naturally creates awkward angles that many right-handed players struggle to anticipate. On faster courts, those angles become even more dangerous. Her serve pulls opponents wide, opening enormous spaces for her forehand to attack. Her ground strokes stay low after the bounce, rushing opponents into uncomfortable contact points. The confidence she displayed in Birmingham and Berlin wasn't built on miracle shot-making. It was built on repeatable patterns that consistently placed world-class players under pressure. She wasn't surviving those matches. She was controlling them. What stunned analysts throughout her grass court run wasn't simply the quality of her victories, it was how composed she remained against players with far more experience. Rybakina, one of the biggest hitters in the women's game, found herself constantly reacting instead of dictating. Svitolina, famous for her consistency and movement, struggled to neutralize Eala's relentless attacking patterns. These weren't lucky afternoons where everything happened to fall inside the lines. They revealed a player whose game had evolved into something genuinely dangerous on this surface. Zarazua presents an entirely different challenge. Standing significantly shorter than many players on tour, she has never relied on overwhelming serves or easy points. Her greatest strength has always been her intelligence. She competes with extraordinary determination, absorbs pace well, and forces opponents to hit one extra shot over and over again until frustration creeps into their decision-making. On clay, that formula becomes incredibly effective because rallies naturally extend and the higher bounce gives her precious time to organize each exchange. Grass removes that luxury. The ball skids, stays low, and demands split-second reactions. Suddenly, every fraction of a second matters. And that's exactly why her strongest qualities haven't translated consistently onto this surface. Still, tennis has never been played on paper. Every Grand Slam produces surprises because pressure changes people. Sometimes the favorite tightens. Sometimes the underdog begins swinging freely with absolutely nothing to lose. That psychological battle may become just as important as the tactical one. For Eala, this match carries enormous emotional weight. She isn't simply trying to reach the second round. She's defending history. Every Filipino fan watching from home understands how extraordinary this moment is. Millions have followed her journey from junior champion to rising professional. They celebrated every breakthrough, endured every setback, and dreamed of seeing one of their own become a genuine contender on the biggest stages in tennis. Now that dream stands only one match away from continuing. Those expectations create invisible pressure. Every service game suddenly feels heavier. Every break point carries more significance. Every mistake seems louder. Zarazua enters with a completely different mindset. Nobody expects her to win. Sometimes that freedom becomes the most dangerous weapon of all. She can attack without fear, gamble on risky returns, and swing aggressively knowing the pressure belongs almost entirely to the other side of the net. If she can steal an early break or force Eala into a long opening set, doubt may begin creeping into the favorite's mind. Grand Slam first rounds have humbled countless seeded players who believed momentum alone would carry them through. Tennis has a cruel habit of reminding everyone that reputations win nothing once the first ball is struck. And then there's another storyline quietly waiting just beyond this opening match. The winner could find herself facing one of the biggest names the sport has ever known. For tennis fans around the world, that possibility is impossible to ignore. A second-round showdown featuring Alex Eala would instantly become one of the most talked-about matches of the tournament. It's the kind of blockbuster narrative broadcasters dream about and fans desperately want to see. But that's exactly what makes first-round matches so dangerous. Looking too far ahead has ended countless championship dreams. Wimbledon has witnessed enough stunning upsets to remind every player that tomorrow doesn't exist until today is finished. Eala understands that better than anyone. Throughout this remarkable grass season, she has repeatedly spoken about embracing pressure instead of fearing it. Each milestone has brought greater expectations, yet somehow she has continued responding with her best tennis. That emotional growth may be her greatest improvement of all. Earlier in her career, setbacks sometimes lingered. Today, they seem to fuel her. Birmingham proved her resilience. Berlin proved she belongs among elite competition. Wimbledon now offers the opportunity to prove those performances weren't isolated moments, but the beginning of a completely new chapter. As for Zarazua, her journey deserves enormous respect regardless of recent results. She has carried Mexican tennis forward through years of persistence, breaking barriers for future generations and earning victories many believed impossible. She knows what it feels like to shock the tennis world. She understands how quickly momentum can swing inside a single match. That experience guarantees she won't walk onto the court intimidated simply because her opponent carries a higher ranking. But when every piece of evidence is placed together, one conclusion continues to emerge. The surface favors Alex Eala. Her recent form favors Alex Eala. Her confidence favors Alex Eala. The explosive left-handed patterns that dismantled some of the world's best players should translate naturally against an opponent who has struggled to protect her serve on grass all season. If Eala serves well from the opening games, she has every opportunity to dictate play before Zarazua can settle into the longer rallies she prefers. Once Alex begins striking freely, the court suddenly feels much smaller for anyone standing across the net. That doesn't mean the match will be emotionally simple. There will almost certainly be moments when familiar memories flash through both players' minds. Perhaps Zarazua will correctly anticipate a serve because she has seen that exact placement during practice. Maybe Eala will recognize a return pattern because they once discussed it together while planning doubles tactics. Tiny moments of recognition that nobody in the crowd notices could quietly influence crucial points. Those invisible battles are what make this matchup so unique. Beneath every rally lies the complicated history of two athletes who once trusted each other completely. When the final handshake arrives, one dream will continue and the other will end. Everything suggests that Alex Eala has reached this tournament at exactly the right moment. She isn't just winning matches anymore, she's building an identity on grass, defeating elite opponents through intelligent aggression rather than fleeting confidence. That transformation is far more significant than rankings alone. Champions often experience a moment when belief becomes permanent. Recent weeks suggest Eala may have found hers. Yet if she wants this historic Wimbledon journey to continue, she must remember one final lesson. Respect the opponent standing across the net. Respect the player who once shared your side of the court. Respect the woman who has already beaten you before. Because history, friendship, momentum, and rankings all disappear the instant the first serve leaves the racket. After that, only one truth remains. The better player on that day will move forward. And Alex Eala now has the opportunity to prove that this extraordinary rise is only the beginning of something even greater.